everyone, Allison Berger here, and I wanted to keep feeling the heat, so I came to the other side of the hot rod circle here at the Greenwich Concours d'Elegance, and now I'm here with Rick with these two beautiful, bright-colored hot rods behind us. What can you tell me about them? Let's start with this beautiful orange one first.
Well, actually, this is a 63 T-Bird, is what we started out with. It's got the stock V8 motor in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been radically customized. We built these cars in '99, it's been almost 20 years.
Okay.
This
wow.
one as well as the Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
We chopped the top, stretched the rear quarter sail panels, nosed it, decked it, did all the treatment to it, reworked the rear wheel wells, rolled the pan in the back.
How long a process is this?
Well, we did this one pretty quick. I think it was 8 months.
Wow.
It was 8 months, yeah.
And that's more on the quick side of things.
That's very quick. Most, this
What's
is
the average?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question. These cars could be built in several months or several years. Usually it's the later.
Okay.
It can take, it's a 2 or 3 year project if you're on it.
Right. So when it comes to customizing something like this and you're building it yourself, where do you begin? How do you decide what to change, what to fix, how to do all of these things?
Well, I've been doing this a long time. For me, with the American cars, when I customize a car, I want to stand back and look at it, and I want it to appeal to me, the model that Detroit gave us, and see what lines I can change to enhance the existing lines. Like this, not customize it so much, cut it up so much that you don't even know it's a 63 T-Bird anymore.
You have to keep its originality to an extent, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know about originality, but you start off with an original car,
okay.
First of all, that appeals to you visually, and then you stand back and think about it. Walk around the car, be with the car for a few days, and figure out what you want to do to it. And that's what I did with this car and all my cars.
Okay.
And we decided to chop the top. The windshield is curved, very hard windshield to cut when the top comes down. So Timo Tanskinen made the windshield in Norway.
Wow.
We sent him over a pattern. The rest of the bodywork was done in Phoenix. We were in Arizona at the time. The color of the paint is called Tequila Sunrise.
Ooh, I like that.
It's House of Color. It's a custom mix. You cannot find this
anywhere
off
else?
Of the shelf. It's on this car.
So is it safe to say this is the only car with this Tequila Sunrise color?
I would say so.
Wow, that's quite a big deal.
It's a big deal. I think it is, yeah. And I think the end result came out good.
Yeah, it's a showstopper.
It was a fun project, and it stops traffic when it's, and it's a driver too. You can drive this car.
All the time?
Yes.
Wow. And tell me a little about the interior that we have going on.
Well, the interior, we used the stock T-Bird seats, the buckets in the front, the same as the rear. A lot of the customizers over the years like using the T-Bird seats, the opera seats, because they curve in the back, the rear seats curve. And is that still good to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's done in white leather with orange inserts.
Yes.
And we have chrome accents on the inside. We kept the gauges all stock, obviously, for the stock engine. And it's a great driver. It's on air ride, not hydraulics, but you could ride it at this height here, or it'll lay out on the ground.
Great.
It's really not a hot rod. It's more custom car.
Ooh. So how do you differ the two?
Well, look at this and look at a 32 Ford. A 32 Ford is a hot rod. This is a custom car.
All right.
But a lot of people will call it a hot rod because it's been modified.
Well, now you all have been mistaken, right? Well, this is a beautiful, can we call her Tequila?
Tequila's, well, the name of the car is Tango.
Ooh, Tango.
Tango
with some Tequila Sunrise.
That's right.
Nice, but just don't be drinking tequila while you're driving.
Absolutely not. All you kids out there, remember that.
Exactly.
No drinking and driving.
No, definitely not. Even, you can't ruin a car like this.
No, you can't.
that should have been an immediate response, Rick. Okay, so let's go from Tequila Sunrise and Tango over to your other beauty.
The 56 Mark. The name of this car is Remarkable. Get it?
Yes.
Mark II Lincoln. Don decided to call it Remarkable, in part because we did this car at the same time we were doing this one.
Oh, wow.
And
Is it difficult to handle doing multiple, customizing 2 cars at once? Does it get complicated with which parts go where and everything else that's involved?
It does. Not with 2 cars, but when you get, this is my business, so I'm used to the craziness of it all.
So
Even 20 years ago.
What's been the hardest, most difficult car that you have had to customize?
The most difficult car?
Yes.
You know, there's been so many cars. I've been building cars a long time. And I say that because I've had a lot of help over the years. But I don't know. There's been so many cars. They've all been great.
Well, that's much better than something being difficult.
Well, they're all difficult. Okay, I will answer your question.
Okay.
Yes, they're all difficult. I like the process. I like the end result. I like doing this, showing it off, getting the pats on the back. That's great.
You're doing great, Rick.
It takes a lot of talent to build cars like this,
Definitely.
and I got a great team.
That's wonderful. You need the good team or it's not going to come out great.
That's not only going to come out great, it's not going to come out, period.
I believe that. So what's building cars and customizing like this? Do you have a favorite memory? Was there one car that was so memorable and such it was so pleasurable to customize?
Yes.
Well, can you tell me, please?
Yeah, it was called. It's called the Black Pearl. It's a coach-built car. My shop built the car. The body was built by Marcel Delay of Corona, California. He's 88 now. He's a metal shaper from Belgium. And that car was for James Hetfield of Metallica. It's sitting in my shop right now.
Wow.
James and I were car building partners for years. We did a number of cars. I think the Black Pearl was one of my favorites.
Cool.
For sure.
That's awesome.
We chopped the top on this 3 inches.
Okay.
Like I said, Timo Tansen made this windshield as well. All the corners have been rounded. The headlights have been stretched and Frenched. And when I say stretched, they're 3 inches longer than they were stock. At the back of the car, the stock Mark II Lincoln came out, the fender came out
So
like
you
this
curved it
and
down.
dropped down. And I wanted everything to flow, like the angle of the rear window, the angle of the sail panel, and the angle of this, the angle of the wheel wells. They're all going in the same direction.
It's
So
flowing.
it flows.
It definitely flows.
I like to call it rhythm. It's got rhythm.
It does definitely have rhythm, and it's remarkable.
And it is remarkable. Yes.
No pun intended.
And,
All right, so tell me a little about the engine.
Well, the engine's a big block Chevy, and it's a great runner. Runs great. It's reliable. It's quick. And that's really it. It's got all the chrome details on it, all the goodies, the fin valve covers.
It's gorgeous. It's so shiny, clean. What's the upkeep like?
It's a low maintenance car. It's a low maintenance car. It stays on a battery tender when it's not being used. And, as you can see, you're not going to get very dirty working on this engine.
Yeah, definitely not.
So
It's really a beauty. And what else is special about this car and makes it different than other cars out there?
I think the fact that somebody took a Mark II Lincoln, because they only made the style of 1956 and 57. It was Lincoln's way of getting to Cadillac. And the word was they lost $1,000 on every car. It was $10,000 new. So back in 56. So to take a car like this, where there weren't a lot of them made, it's a pretty gutsy thing to do, to cut the roof and chop it.
Yeah.
So for
It
me,
is.
that was the big deal with this car. And it's in proportion, I think, to the rest of the car. It doesn't look like it was stepped on, meaning we took too much out of the roof where it looks too low.
Right.
I think it's tasteful.
It is. And, I noticed the mirrors are much different than, you see in a normal car. Is this something that you were involved in, or is this from
The side view mirrors here?
Yes.
These are aftermarket side view mirrors. I can't remember where.
Go ahead.
These are aftermarket side view mirrors. I can't remember. It's been 20 years ago where we got them. However, the mirrors that I like to use, my favorite mirror on the Tango is a 71 or 72 Vega.
Oh, very nice.
They're low profile. They're not high stanchions. They flow with the car. Again, rhythm. Everything's smoothed out.
I like
also,
that's the style.
the door handles have been shaved. There's solenoids in the doors. You push a remote button, and the door pops open.
Oh.
In case any of the viewers out there are wondering, how's he get in the car
Yeah,
when
I
the
just
windows are
noticed.
up?
I wouldn't have noticed that unless you said something. So that's how the doors open. You have to have the button.
You have to have the button, or the window's got to be down.
Wow, incredible.
I think now thinking about it, the most difficult, besides chopping the top and it coming out proportionally correct, was the power windows, getting them to work properly after the chop. So when you went down the road and the windows are up, you could hear the stereo and you wouldn't hear all of the air and the
Right.
traffic and all the outside elements or whatever. Yeah.
It's a hard job you got. But when you love it, it's not work, right?
That's right.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Rick.
Well, thank you.
I'm glad I was able to find out what Tango and Remarkable was all about.
My pleasure.
All right, everyone, stay tuned because there's more to come from the Greenwich Concours d'Elegance.